Yes, indeed. We are back one more time with another episode of the discussion.
Yes, sir.
And I am the bad guy, CJ Dove, with my partner, the most incredible, the most esteemed, the most accomplished. My partner.
Well, I don't know.
Edel.
I don't know if I'm the most accomplished, but I am your esteemed colleague.
My esteemed colleague, obviously. You got the brother, the good guy, Edel, in the building.
All day.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the comment section. If it's your first time tuning in, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get your notifications each and every time we drop new content. And if you feel charity in your heart and you want to help two brothers along the way accomplish a great goal, the PayPal is pinned above. And if you do not have PayPal, you have Cash App, you can also use the Cash App.
Yes, sir. Indeedy.
Via money sign CJ Dove or money sign 23A Rick. And as you all know, that might be the only time that you get to call him by his real name.
Well, you said it right on the spot. Listen, you got a little energy today, man. You refreshed.
Actually, it's quite the reverse. Like, I'm really fighting to... I'm trying to pump myself up and get into the moment. You understand?
Okay. All right. Well, look, you don't seem like you're doing a pretty bad job.
Well, it's a gift. I'll just say that.
A gift and a curse.
When the lights is on, it's go time. So
you already know it.
Shout out to my main man LB, who I see in the comment section. And once you put that Tupac thing out there, all the Tupac stands, I know they ready to go.
Better believe it.
And actually, I kind of feel some heat coming from this comment section where I feel like they thinking, like, what is he gonna say today? Because some of these people kind of know how I feel about Tupac, so I think they're waiting with bated breath for me to say something wrong.
I don't know, man. And if they are, then they are justified.
They're waiting with bated breath to see me say something wrong.
Well, look, I'm waiting too.
But like I always say, when it comes to certain things, it's a matter of opinion. Everything is subjective. We all have our opinions. There is no right or wrong answer. You know how Tupac makes you feel, and if he makes it hard for you, go for it.
If Tupac make your life easier, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And with that being said, we can hop right into the classic of today.
Yes, sir. What we got?
The classic of the day, in honor of the late Tupac Shakur.
Woo!
Today's classic, I kind of went against my own moral code for a second. I guess you could call this album. The only reason I really am calling it a classic is because so many people call it a classic.
Hold on. I don't want you to jump in the bandwagon with other people. I want you to do what C Money do. Charlie Hustle does.
Sometimes it's for the people.
Okay.
So many people. I threw a shot yesterday. Well, not a shot. I didn't throw a shot. I had a conversation about Tupac yesterday.
Okay.
And the overwhelming consensus was that this album was a classic. So why I don't really believe that it's a classic.
All Eyes on Me.
It's on the road.
I'm just asking, is that the album?
No, that's not the album.
What?
This is what the people were telling me yesterday. More than one. Even one person even went as far as to say that this was Tupac's best album, and it's not even close. Like, his other albums aren't even close.
What they talking about? Machiavelli?
So today's classic, as chosen by the people, Me Against the World.
That is a classic album, though. That is a classic album. I don't think it's better than Machiavelli or All Eyes on Me.
Well, I'm simply the messenger today, and I'm just telling you what was said to me.
Okay.
Well, a couple of people felt inclined to put me in my place.
Well, I don't know.
Put my opinion in his place, and they said Me Against the World was a classic.
Me Against the World is a classic.
Now, however, while I may not think that Me Against the World is a classic, it did spawn what I feel like is my personal favorite Tupac song. Out of all the songs in his catalog, this one, when I first heard it, I was like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was fire. It was just that fire.
Okay, well, I got to hear what you talking about. If you say it's the best one out of all of Tupac's work,
So Many Tears.
I love it. That is
So Many Tears. It just fit Pac like a glove.
right.
A matter of fact, Me Against the World produced what I think two of his best songs in his entire catalog, and that was So Many Tears and Dear Mama.
Dear Mama was a dope.
I think those two records are the epitome of what people love about Tupac.
Right, because look, those two songs right there, those two particular albums, those two particular LPs right there. If you from the neighborhood, if you from the hood or the ghetto, those two songs resonate with you most. You know what I'm saying? About your mom, you know how hard it is, your mom having to work 2 or 3 jobs, or sometimes not even making enough money to put food on the table or buy your clothes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or shed so many tears, you know, because, you know, a lot of black folks, man, we shed so many tears, man, coming up, growing up.
And those two songs, a lot of the times when it came to Tupac, for me, it was, well, you know what? I'm not even, we're going to cover that a little bit, We're going to start making the case for him. But yeah, So Many Tears, Dear Mama. What's another song on here? If I Die Tonight.
Oh man, yeah. You got a lot of. You got that Me Against the World album. You got that. I told you the one that I love off that. That joint. I can't even pull it up.
So I'm pulling up the track list. You have If I Die Tonight. The song.
Temptations.
Excuse me, Me Against the World, Young Niggas, Heavy in the Game, Lord Knows, Dear Mama, It Ain't Easy, Old School, Can You Get Away, F the World, Death Around the Corner, Outlaw. People, like I said, a lot of people got on me about this last night. It was just my opinion. We're going to keep it positive, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Today about Tupac. I'm not going to go back and forth with any of you Tupac stands today. I'm just going to merely just tell you how I feel about it. And you can disagree. It's okay. I still love you, man. And I was a Tupac. I was a Tupac fan, but I wasn't a Tupac fan like some of you guys.
Yeah.
Last episode I said nobody is above my critique.
Yeah.
That applies to Tupac too.
Huh?
It applies to Rakim too. It applies to Biggie too. It applies to whoever, Jay-Z, whoever. If something ain't moving me, then I'm gonna say it. I'm not.
I mean, look.
I
don't think that every song that a hip hop artist or any genre of music has that you're gonna love every song.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I know some folks, and shout out to my brother Dio. Shout out to the dog, man. T-Dog was him and his friend Jody are diehard Tupac fans.
Jody who?
Jody.
You said it like it was just him and Jody's friend. Is he Jody our friend too?
Yes, Jody's our friend.
Okay.
So shout out to Jody too. Grew up with us. But those two together talking about Tupac, like it was the gospel for them. And Tupac could do no wrong in their eyes. And everything he made, they loved it. If you said it wasn't dope, they gonna tell you crazy. Me and my brother
fought over Tupac.
Absolutely.
You and T-Dub.
It got so bad in my household. Me and my brother actually pulled guns on each other, arguing about Tupac.
Oh man, come on, man! Y'all was going to smoke each other about Pop. That's how real.
The argument. This is in the '90s, and arguing. It started off arguing about Tupac and Biggie, and they just escalated. So Tupac fans are very passionate,
just like Biggie fans.
I don't think
you the same way about Biggie. I think
no, because Biggie was never my guy. Even in the '90s, I thought Nas was my favorite.
He was your guy. He was your guy when you put him up against Pop.
I was pretty neutral with that.
Look, there's no way you.
I like Biggie more. I felt like he was a better rapper and had better music overall. Like I'm talking about the album, but I always felt like Tupac was more talented.
Biggie was lyrical,
and so forth and so on. But we're gonna let's get into the classic of the day.
Right.
The classic of the day I chose in honor of Tupac Shakur on his birthday. The
Yes,
song
sir.
I'm gonna give you today is So Many Tears, which happens to be my all-time favorite Tupac song. To me, this song is the epitome of who that man was. It was a perfect mixture of lyricism, of the beat matching the lyrics. It pulled at your heartstrings. It told you. It to me, just the whole design of the song is what I indeed loved about Tupac.
Why don't you just let me just jump right in and make my case
Hop right in.
for this?
Tell
my man's
why is Tupac the classic? Why is he the GOAT? In your eyes, what is it about Tupac that people the way he resonates with them so much?
I think that because of his leadership skills. I think that because not only did Pop possess leadership skills, not only was he a great rapper, not only was he someone that was conscious and aware of what was going on in society and spoke about it, Pop was a guy that literally, in every form and every fashion, from the beginning to the end, he stood up and raised up for what he believed in and didn't back down.
Absolutely.
A person like that, it's hard to take him out of their comfort zone. I don't even know if he's ever been uncomfortable in hip hop or his life, like as far as, you know what I mean, the entertainment side and all that. But Pop was everything to people, man. His albums was transcendent. As you see, most people still playing that today. All of those albums. He was a transcendent rapper. He was a great person. But Tupac, the man, he was a leader. He was very vocal about what was going on in the community. A lot of people didn't like Pop, but how he spoke up and was a voice for the community, I think that was something to be said more than his music, because Pop wasn't afraid to let white America know, corporate America, whoever, politicians, if you were in the way and you still did something wrong, gang bangers. Listen, man, Pop was gonna ride you,
right?
And he wasn't gonna stop. So, but look, all those things, I say, Pop was just the full package.
But before we continue on, now I'm going to tap into your brain a little bit.
Okay.
For you,
for me,
what is it that makes your consideration for anybody being the GOAT? Like what categories, so to speak, are you looking at to make that assessment?
Well, I'm going to measure it by, of course, by his album sales. We know album sales through the roof.
So album sales?
That's just one.
Okay.
But I can say the album sales. I can say that Pop had albums. His albums, you can ride through the whole albums.
Okay.
I mean, Pop was marketable. Pop was impressionable. He was everything. But I mean, he was everything. He was the full package. He was the total package.
Okay.
He was everything wrapped up in one. When you want what you want in a hip hop artist, Pop could do anything, and he was very versatile. So I just
when you say versatile, what?
I mean,
in what type of way? Do you mean like acting and rapping? Or
I ain't even gonna throw the acting in there. Let's look at it like this, and I'm gonna give it from a standpoint where a perspective that you brought a few months ago about Tupac. Listen. For Tupac albums to not have the greatest producers in the world, he killed it. He still killed it. You don't find artists. Look, we talk about this all the time. I'm not comparing him to Nas or Nas comparing him to him, but like Nas' production, some of his style don't meet some of the production, and you be like, come on, Pop, anything you put Pop on, man, I don't care. You can come up with a beat out the basement, over there on the side of the river, Pop gonna kill it. And that's what I loved about it.
And that's an important point that you just brought up.
Right.
Because when I give you my argument, that is one of the things that I would bring up.
Right.
Tupac, if you go back and look at his albums, he chose to rock with a lot of dudes that weren't really known and didn't really make any, I would say, classic material other than certain things that they did with him. And most of the time he worked with them one time and you never saw, the only consistent producer that he worked with all the way through was Shock G.
Okay.
And rest in peace to Shock G as well. But and that could mainly be due to the fact that Shock gave him his start in the hip hop. You know, as everybody knows, he came into the game up under the banner of Digital Underground.
Yeah.
So he continuously worked with Shock G all through his career. But he was good at finding, I guess local talents or something like that.
Right.
A lot of these. Matter of fact, the guy who played Tupac, All Eyes on Me, in the movie All Eyes on Me.
Okay.
His father was actually a producer that worked with Tupac on, I want to say, Me Against the World album. But other than that, he has no other real credible names under his belt.
Yeah.
Well, names that the average person would know.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Under his belt. So that's interesting that Tupac rocked like that. I think the man was just a workaholic, and whoever was available at the time.
Right.
Like, he didn't have time to wait for your better known producers to send them beats and stuff like that. It was more like, who's ever in the studio, when I get in there, hey, you made beats? What you got? Let me hear what you got. Like, I think with him, at certain times in his career, it was situations like that.
A lot of times in his career, it was like that, I think. But I think that his message, the message to Pac's music was the one, we know he had some of the gangster lyrics and all that, but his message and his lyrics was to uplift people.
Right.
A lot of his music was to uplift people, and rarely, when he gets angry, that's when he make those other songs when he got a beef or a problem with somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? That's when he make those songs and he coming at you. But other than that, man, Pac's songs uplift you. It brought you out of sad times or hard times. Because like when I was going through things and certain situations in my life, I could listen to a song shed so many tears.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could grab me a bottle of Hennessy and sit back and just listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And think about it but just think about that. Think about the words to that song. Back in elementary, crying for misery, left me alone. I grew up amongst a dying breed. Inside my mind, I couldn't find a place to rest until I got that thug life tatted on my chest. Tell me, can you feel me? I'm not living in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The way he was kicking and he was flowing, it was like he was talking to you. He was like, damn.
And that's one of the things, like I said, when you start talking about lyricism, a lot of the critique on Tupac has always been, well, he wasn't lyrical. You understand?
Right.
And I think what people are referring to is his rhyme style, the technical aspect of it. As somebody who used to write and rap, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There is a method that comes along with that, like where technique, patterns is what you want to call it.
Right.
Tupac had a very simple pattern. He kind of modeled himself after your Melly Mel's and people like that, where if you listen to the cadence, and I'm not saying that Tupac and Melly Mel are the same.
Right.
But what I mean by that, it was a very simple pattern that he used for each line. And a lot of times he put emphasis on the last word of the second line, just like a Melly Mel, right? So sometimes the knock on Tupac was the fact that he wasn't lyrical. Now, me, in my personal opinion, I don't think lyricism has anything to do with patterns. I think lyricism
doesn't.
It's thought-provoking lyrics. And Tupac was a prolific writer. Even though his cadence was very simple, he didn't really show you any other styles that he really would do. He would basically rhyme the same on every song. And once again, like I said, that's a knock on him. But a lot of his records, the ones that people love the most, were very lyrical records.
And look, but even the ones that won't, because you could take Brenda's Got a Baby,
right?
And it wasn't the most lyrical record, but it was a heartfelt record.
Depending on, see, that's the conversation. Depending on how you define lyricism, because I know rappers who have all the technical ability in the world,
right?
But a lot of times they ain't saying nothing.
Lyrical skill is
the technique is amazing.
Yeah.
The cadence is amazing. You know, they doing all kind of stuff. You know, when it comes to the patterns,
but they got
patterns
bars
inside of patterns, shadow boxing.
But they got bars like a 3-year-old.
But the bars really don't really make sense. Let's just.
I agree.
You know what? I wasn't gonna do it, but y'all, I'm gonna piss the stands off right now. Eminem falls in that category. Now he does have records where he is talking about something, but a lot of his early records he wasn't talking about nothing. And a lot of people will crown him with being the greatest lyricist or one of the greatest lyricists ever. But to me, a lot of it was just gibberish. It wasn't really nothing.
It was gibberish.
No words that you was really holding on to. They are focused more on the cadence. The technique of it all.
His delivery was dope.
Tupac, if you just want to say lyricism and who was a more prolific writer, Tupac is a more prolific writer than Eminem. His songs made more sense than Eminem's record. The only difference is Eminem used a more quote-unquote technical cadence. I'm not calling you the greatest based on how lyrical you are. You got a lot of people who get GOAT consideration just because they might be super lyrical or something like that. For me, the lyrical ability, you have to have the soundtrack to match. You have to have the classic albums under your belt. If you don't have the classic albums under your belt, more than likely, I am not calling you the greatest of all time.
Pop got 3 on his belt.
Looking at Tupac's catalog, right? Okay, let me pull it up because I don't want to miss.
He got 3 on his belt. Catalog from what? Me Against the World?
His catalog, overall catalog, period.
Okay.
So let's just unpack this, right? His first album was Tupacalypse Now in 1991. 1993 was Strictly For My Niggas. Then you had Me Against the World in 1995.
Classic album.
And All Eyes on Me in
Classic.
1996. Then you have all the albums that were released after he was dead.
MAKAVELI, classic.
MAKAVELI, Are You Still Down, To the End of Time, Better Days, Loyal to the Game, and Pac's Life. Then he has also the Thug Life collaboration, right?
Thug Life was
So let's just say he has 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 albums under his belt, right? For me, the only Tupac album where I felt like the production matched what he was doing
Me Against the World
was MAKAVELI.
Yeah.
For somebody who didn't, I think MAKAVELI is the most well produced out of all of these albums.
I think it was just orchestrated great. He orchestrated
however you want.
however
you want to do it, say it. It was the most entertaining.
It was.
It was the most complete to me, and he gave you all facets of his personality. But the production matched.
Right.
As somebody who wasn't a diehard Tupac fan, that may be the only Tupac album I can go back to and damn near listen to top to bottom. Now, All Eyes on Me, I would say was second because All Eyes on Me has a lot of dope records on it. But there was a lot of records that
they were fly, but them records was dope.
It was production issues for me.
Yeah, but listen, Pop killed it. He made you listen to it too with that joint with Method Man.
I mean, hold on. Let's be clear about something. When I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm not saying that each of these albums, like Tupacalypse Now, has songs I like.
Right.
Strictly For My Niggas has songs. All his albums, except for maybe 1 or 2 of the ones that came after he was dead.
Right.
They all have records on them that I like.
Listen.
Now, but when I stamp something as a classic, that means I can put that thing in and listen to it damn near from top to bottom. Right?
Right.
What I found with Tupac, because of the production, and another knock on Tupac too, if you somebody who really studies hip hop or whatever, Tupac had a lot of, his hooks were like very simple.
But they was fly though. They was dope.
I mean,
catchy.
for some people that,
but
stuff like that don't matter.
Catchy.
But I'm just telling you, for me, a lot of them songs were very. I didn't just feel. I felt like he put a lot of work into. Like it was just something. I'm in the studio. Let me just bang this out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I just didn't get that sense of like this is a record that I want to hear again. And he had a lot of records like that. And it didn't really matter if they was lyrical or not. I have to have that groove.
Look,
if your beats don't make me do this.
Look, let me. I can't. Can I say something?
I can't give you that.
Can I say something, bro? I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna go with your partner Miko, man. You know what? This Miko. You know what, Miko? You keeps it real out here in the field.
What did Miko say? Shout out to that's the big homie too. Shout out to Miko.
Miko said, "Hustle, you might need to put E in the studio the way he delivering them Tupac bars."
Hey man.
Hey man, I'm caught up on my pop life in here, man. Hey Miko, you need to be in the studio right here with
Miko,
us.
you put him in the studio. How about that?
Miko need to be right here with us on this show. Right here beside you.
And I've been in the studio with Miko before. Miko is official, man.
He official?
Maybe you need to holler at Miko and just tell him you got the spirit of Pac in you.
I got the spirit of the thug in me. Hey.
But let's get back to the topic. Now, in my opinion, and once again, this is my opinion, Tupac stands. You don't have to kill me for my opinion.
Right, we're not gonna kill you.
I respect your opinion. You don't have to agree. I don't agree with you.
Right.
But for me, once again, compared to what people would consider the other greats, the names that ring off most of the time when you bring up this conversation, when you hear, most of the time you start talking about the GOATs, Jay-Z names comes up, Nas name comes up, Rakim, Kool G Rap, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Ice Cube, the list goes on and on, right? Out of the let's just say the great 10, right?
The great 10.
The great 10. And these are the names that I see the most.
Okay.
Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z, KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Tupac, LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Scarface, who am I missing? I know I'm missing something.
That is a very interesting list.
But those are names that you really see that ring off the most. And more recently, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, right? And for me, when I think about all these artists and I look at their catalogs, to me, Tupac has the worst catalog.
Oh man, stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop it. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, bro.
To me, it's no comparison.
I mean, come on, man. Don't do that. Tell me he got the worst album.
I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel like
You really feel like that, bro?
I feel like LL Cool J's catalog is better than Tupac's. I feel like Nas's catalog is better than Tupac's.
Man, you've been drinking today.
No, I really only get... Now, if you're talking about songs, right? I think it's a different argument. When you start, if you just say, take these 11 albums and you pick the best ones off of them, right?
Come on, man.
I think you have a more of a compelling argument.
I don't think any one of those albums match Makaveli's album. That Makaveli.
What?
No.
I'll take Illmatic over Makaveli.
No, ain't no way.
To me, Illmatic is the greatest.
I love him.
I would take Paid in Full over Makaveli.
I love all them albums. I ain't taking that over no Makaveli.
I would take Doggy Style over Makaveli. I'm
not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that.
I don't. When have you ever seen? And I'm challenging anybody right now. Anybody in the comment section. Have you ever seen a post anywhere, in hip hop blogs, any on? Have you seen anybody say that Makaveli is the greatest hip hop album ever? And if I challenge anybody, if you've seen it,
why I gotta always be in a post? I'm saying it right here. I don't have to post it.
Because we keep it in the beam, and I want to see. If something is considered the greatest hip hop album ever, right? Somebody else is going to feel that way, and it's going to get tweeted. It's going to get seen.
Well, they say
and it's going to get talked about.
All Eyes on Me was in books and papers as the greatest album ever, the greatest single album ever in hip hop.
I haven't seen it.
Man, stop it, man. I seen that.
Okay, I'll go to Google. We can Google it.
Stop
we can Google it. This is the beautiful thing about technology.
Yeah, well, Google it, man, because you can say, well,
okay, I'm going to Google.
You ain't finna tell me that Tupac has the worst album out of all that list that you named. None of his albums can compete with the best album.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Oh, what did you say?
I said, like, when you start talking about the best of the best, right? And the names I'm naming off are the names that ring off the most.
And you said Pac's album his body
compared to the rest of them, I think. And this is just a critique of the best of the best. Mm-hmm. This is the best of the best. This is not saying that nobody is whack. But out of the best of the best, I think his catalog of music is the weakest. out of the great. Out of the greats.
I can't say that. I ain't doing that, bro.
Okay,
I ain't doing that, bro.
This is the beautiful thing about
man. Look, I don't care nothing about what Google say or what nobody else say.
Okay.
You're not telling me. I want you to pull it up, but
it has to be some validity to it.
No,
what I'm saying is the general consensus. Because this is no, I'm telling you what happens, and I'm telling you from experience.
Okay,
this is what happens. A lot of times you don't see this stuff until you start having an argument with somebody who happens to be a diehard fan of the artist or something like that, and it becomes there in the moment because you love and praise Tupac so much. I'm gonna tell you the albums that I see listed all the time as the greatest hip hop albums ever. I see Wu-Tang Into the 36 Chambers. Mm-hmm. I see Nas Illmatic. I see Paid in Full. I see the Tupac album that I see the most, and I have seen it. I have seen Me Against the World, but I have not seen Machiavelli ever. Mm-hmm. Listed as the greatest. Now it might be listed as a classic.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if it's.
I think
All Eyes on Me was probably. Listed.
Wait, whoa. See now what you see this.
I'm just saying. I think Machiavelli could compete with all those records that all those guys.
No, we're not going to do that.
And it's better than those guys.
Wait a minute, E. So now you're telling me. Now I want you to understand what you just said live on this air, right? You just said 5 minutes ago that Machiavelli was the greatest hip hop album ever.
No, I did not say it was better than those 10 guys you listed. Those guys you listed. That's what I was saying. I'm talking about.
You can look at the back. You can.
No. Hold on.
When this is over, you can.
Hold on. Let me clarify this for you.
Please do.
Those lists that you named and you saying that Tupac catalog was the weakest, I'm telling you it wasn't. I'm telling you it was better than those guys. Okay. That's what I'm telling you. And you're saying and then you want to spin it and say, hey, let's go find an article that says that. If I tell you,
wait a minute. If I tell you that Illmatic is the greatest hip hop album ever, you're going to be able to find multiple sites, valid hip hop magazines.
I don't need that. I got a whole list of people in the comments. I don't need that.
Why haven't I seen nobody tweet it before?
You seeing them tweet it now, right here on your live.
Because we're in the moment having a conversation.
No, stop that. Stop that. We're not doing that,
come
bro.
on, man. You just contradicted yourself.
I'm not contradicting myself.
Hold on. For the record, you just said Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me. Now,
and Machiavelli is classic albums.
Okay. And it's the best out of all the greats.
Yes. Tupac, yes.
And that sounds just like a Tupac fan.
I'm just saying, I'm classifying Tupac as better than all those guys. I'm putting them at the top. That's just me. Okay. That's my argument. I'm putting Tupac at the top.
You're entitled to
listen, and I'm gonna take. Listen, I don't even have to take Machiavelli or All Eyes, Me Against the World to solidify his spot. I'm gonna take you to All Eyes on Me World in a sense where you said that the production wasn't that great and he still killed it. We talking about a double CD. He killed that, smashed that. We on air the other day talking about how Game's double album with all those 36 or 40, whatever songs he got was, you know what I mean? Man, I'm telling you that Tupac's double album, that All Eyes on Me, for me, solidified him that top spot for me.
Okay.
I've never heard nothing
now, like this is the beautiful thing about everything being recorded. Because I find myself having these conversations in the moment. There have been several times on this show where we have talked about the greatest hip hop albums ever, the greatest artists ever, and so forth and so on. This is the very first time in the history of C&E, with all the hip hop conversations that we have had, that my brother E-Dale, and I urge you to go run the tape. Find me where E has said that Machiavelli or All Eyes on Me were the greatest hip hop albums ever. He has said The Chronic. He has said The Doggy Style. He has named, he even,
and you know I love Doggy Style and The Chronic,
named Ghetto Dope. But today,
it's a classic.
Today,
they not better than Pop though.
Today,
none of them are better than Pop.
For the very first time on C&E, he is naming Machiavelli the greatest.
No, not Machiavelli. Tupac.
All Eyes on Me.
No, everything Tupac. Everything pop. It's the greatest.
Now, that being said, why don't you tell the people where they can find us?
Look, man, y'all can find me at my house. Stop through now. I'm just playing. Hey, look, y'all can find us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm telling you, we are everywhere you are, and we are the most consistent, man. Hit the bell for the notification, man, every time we go live to get new content when we are streaming, man. Go ahead and hit the link, man. Donate to the show. $1, $2, whatever you got. Donate to the show, man. It's going to go to a good cause, man. Money sign CJ Dub 23A. Money sign 23A Rick. Cash App, man. Look, holla at your boy, man. The link's in there. Y'all hit it. Look out for your people, man. And look, let's blow this thing up.
That being said, we'll catch you again next Tuesday. What time, E?
Around 6 p.m. It's because, you know, black folks be a little late at times. You know what I'm saying? So we'll make it through.
All right, till next time. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, John said he's a city's one begotten son to lead the wild and